they haven't been doing much in this game. Even though in the previous game they had some overextensions, I think they played much better Dota. This lineup of theirs is just, it's weird to get right. Some teams, the tier 1 teams might be able to get it. Look at now, Puck with an Arcane Rune has a Parasma, he destroys Chalice, and probably Chalice is the biggest problem for them in this series, because he has been struggling for 2 games now.
Back-to-back struggles for the poor guy. Top lane, they're hoping to find Somnus. Do they have the reveal for him? They do, and they get him out right now. Paulison gets him out. Somnus tried with the Orchid, but the jump forward from low catches him in the corner, and he is going to get killed. Very nicely done by Extreme Gaming.
Meanwhile, Enchantress, look at the mid lane.
Enchantress dead?
He might be.
Let's see. XM thinking about it. It is an Ench after all. Never a fun target to be going onto.
But he would have gone for it if he saw some of the heroes in the top lane. The thing is, when he saw a lot of the heroes missing, he knew that they were gonna be targeting him. Now they're trying to get the glyph out. It's Extreme Gaming. That is the one that they want. Hard to do, but a valiant attempt either way.
Yeah, they don't have an Aegis, so they're probably going to back up for it. We will know in a moment exactly when Roshan respawns, and it is a moderately long one. So Team Turtles will have enough time to marshal defenses to try and contest for the Aegis.
XM has been playing out of his mind. The definite MVP of the series. Like, literally, if he starts feeding now and then feeds in the third game as well and they lose, he's still the top dog. Look at him. He has died only once in the previous game. Now he hasn't died a single time. Of course, in this game it is a lot easier to stay alive, but he's doing everything right. The items, the movement, the TPs, the wave out pushes. It has all been perfect coming out from him. And now he has an Invis rune, so he's going to be going hunting once again.
Yep. It's level 20 as well with the Waning Rift cooldown, so very dangerous hero. They will see the Enchantress, but now they will recognize that there's probably a sentry ward somewhere.
He has a gem with Enchantress, though. That's the way he saw him.
The gem. Okay. Gems.
Yep, there's one on the Puck, one on the Enchantress. Good thing for Team Turtles is that they do have the 4 staffs now, and that is great. The bad thing is that you're so far behind that your damage output is going to be a problem. So you need a lot more time now. So those 4 staffs, other than being utilized to turn the fight around, the SF are going to be utilized to just run away.
They've got 3 4-stars at the moment with a 4th en route for the Enchantress at some point. So they're going to be playing the maximum mobility game. But like you say, they can only really run at this point in time. The strength of XG is astounding. And they smoked up, in fact. They're going to try and leverage that strength and kill off some of these TT heroes.
Yep, so you are shoving out the bottom lane, and then you're trying to catch them off guard. But unless you're going super aggressively into the enemy triangle, you're not going to be able to do it. This was just way too slow from Extreme Gaming. Nice read from Turtles, and also showing the Invoker on the bottom lane gave Extreme Gaming a false idea where the enemies are at. So in the end, it's just going to be a positioning smoke rather than anything else.
With this Enchantress, they do manage to regain some map control of their jungle. This area of the map where TT's been struggling to play, but now they can. Some time for them to farm. And somehow Monet's still been keeping up there in the farm department. It's like, he's second to this Alchemist, but he's still, if they allow him to like be able to sit down and throw out right clicks, he could still be really, really scary.
That's the thing, the Alchemist has been itemizing versus the SF. Nobody else is a problem for him. Jump into the SF, you have a Basher Abyssal, and if you're sitting on the SF, nobody's doing the damage. Then XM, even if you make a mistake and get stunned up, you're not going to die. So this is actually very, very smart from Extreme. We're not even counting the other 3 heroes that they have, but the 2 cores in general can deal with the entirety of the team. The Puck is probably going to survive, even if he gets stunned up surrounded by the other 4 heroes, and the Alchemist just has one job: sit on top of the SF and don't allow him to hit.
That job gets a little bit easier now because PYW has finished the Blink Dagger on the Lion. So surprise initiation is now at the ready. So they've got what, 3 Blink initiations? Blink Hex, Blink Roll, Blink Coil. Very scary place to be on the map. I feel like TT they're going to struggle to stay spread apart. They might just be forced to clump up the entire time to try and deal with this.
That's where those 4-staffs come in handy, right? Every single initiation needs to be met with 1, 2, 3, 4-staffs. Doesn't matter. Just to make sure that that hero gets out. If Extreme Gaming are able to burst somebody down, that is an issue. So, as Team Turtle, you can never allow Extreme Gaming to choose the positioning of the fight. Sure, general area of the fight, fine. You're not going to be able to influence that all the time, but the exact position to jump in and blow up a hero, it must never happen. Team Turtle, they need to be able to protect their heroes.
Smoke up again from Extreme Gaming. The Sand King, he is middle underneath the Sentry Ward. We'll see if he decides to stick around here. Picks up a regen rune, tries to blink away. They got him. Primal Roar directly onto his face. Finger of Death to follow that up. PYW has 5 finger stacks available. Holy smokes, that's a lot.
Yep. And he has the Fist of Death. We haven't really seen him punching the creeps, though.
Top lane. They get the kill potentially onto low. That's the first life taken away from the Aegis. Does have BKB on go number 2 as XM jumped in, found 3 heroes with the coil. The Requiem, it hits before the BKB. The Alchemist is gone. He was very far away from his team, and you know what? In retrospect, Chalice is like, come kill me again, boys. It leaves you all very far away from your very signature Alchemist.
A huge mistake coming out from the Alchemist. Not only getting caught, sure, that's a mistake in itself, but once you got caught, he needed to put the BKB instantly into his inventory and not wait for him to die, because the Aegis death timer is 5 seconds, and from a backpack to inventory is 6 seconds, so he couldn't get the BKB off. Requiem is also pretty good at not allowing you to do it anyways, but you would have had a better chance if you just made sure that you are going to be putting it into the inventory earlier.
Now though, got to defend the tower. They didn't have to pop the glyph. They took the Tormi as well, giving Chalice a Aghanim shot. So we get the upgraded Epicenter, which is, we haven't really seen that many Epis in this game. However, the enemy team still at this point doesn't really have many sources of magic resist. So, sometimes when the game is going for so long, like, when you're playing up against some Enigma, he's not black holing for like 30, 40 minutes, you sort of forget about the spell. You clump up that one fight, it hits you, you all die. Because we haven't seen any Epicenters, it could still happen in favor of Chalice in this game.
And the thing is, you're versus a Puck and a Phoenix. And just those 2 heroes are not going to be close to other people, don't care about your Epicenter much. Then Lion being next to an Alchemist, that is a positioning mistake for sure. So it's going to be cool to see if he can make it happen.
Clockwork does get taken out. They get the Yules out onto this Invoker as well. Somnus though should be fine. Has BKB. The first Hurricane Pike is there. There's still another one available from SF if needed, but no, there they come. Primal Roar. Didn't Mew just get a kill in this exact area with that spell? Indeed he did, but turns out he's going to do it again. Somnus not able to get off the BKB, and they didn't get off the second Hurricane Pike either.
You should have learned on your teammates' mistakes and not allowing it to happen from your side as well. But it was very hard for him to escape there. He needed more 4-staffs to come out to bail him out of that one. Now, they do have a banner. Let's see if they're going to be able to push. Very nice coming out from the Enchantress to make sure that thing dies as fast as possible.
30 seconds without the Invoker. They're not pushing with an Aegis though on the side of XG. So once this banner has been removed, they probably will lose their appetite for going high ground. And that seems to be the case.
Wisdom rune.
Wisdom. Okay, stolen away by PYW. FY almost got stunned up as well. But he'll get out.
Guys, we know how bad this can be. The enemies just lost on this exact 35-minute Wisdom rune last time, so let's not do the same. And even though they had like 4 heroes there versus a Clockwork, they decided to just let it go. Take the rune and get the heck away from there.
Things are getting scary. Enchanted Quiver now up for the Puck. Dude, this is so much damage. Enchanted Quiver Parasma jump in from said Puck. He's able to get some damage out. Monet. He's not the one that's stunned, but the second one will connect onto him. They burst down onto the Sand King, immediately turn their attention to Monet. SK and the Shadow Fiend both dead without buyback being available. And the rest of the team couldn't really do anything. Somnus did his best, threw out a silence or two, but ultimately he just came back into the fray, couldn't really do anything. Now the first lane of Rax looks like it should be taken away here PickU doing his best, throwing in the impetuses. Not going to find much so far as they quickly go into FY, kill him off. The Clockwork also doesn't have buyback. So lane of Rax taken without much contest. The second lane is in contention now as well as Somnus forced back into the base. Can't do anything by himself here.
Yeah, but you know who can do a lot by himself? It's XM. He is soloing them so hard. He sees the SF, jumps in. The rest of the team wasn't even all that prepared, but he keeps them in place for a long enough period of time for the double roar to come out. He is just doing everything right in this game. He has only 5 kills, but a lot of the things that have been done by his teammates have been set up exactly by this Puck.
Just gonna go top to try and get these 4 megas out. Tornado and Cold Snap thrown forward by Somnus, but now the spells are down. He's got Dream Coiled as well. Puck reaching in onto him. XM trying to find the solo kill. Is he gonna get him? Yes, he does! Somnus can't even reach into the fountain. He's already gone. Now XM looking towards this Enchantress. She gets forced back a little bit as their team will trigger out this fortification, but they realize that without Somnus, they can't do anything. With a whimper, Team Turtle throw in the towel. Extreme Gaming will not be denied. It's GG, well played. A 2-0 victory for XG right now.
Yeah, and a very easy victory in the last game, especially with how things started. Sure, I still have to blame that off lane of Team Turtle, right? Because the way that the safe lane went, it was perfect. And that off lane could have gone better for you if you just weren't greedy. But they were super greedy. It destroyed their early game, gave first blood, started the lane on Chalice with like minimal HP. And they never got to play this game. If we had a stronger Sand King earlier on, I think with the way that they've taken down towers, the Team Turtle could have taken this game, but they just didn't have the momentum or the strength. They always had the map control. They always had the right ways of getting into fights, but they never had the strength to do it with not a huge amount of heroes, and that was a huge deal. They even stole the Wisdom runes there. It looked like everything went good apart from that one lane in the early game, and without it, they just couldn't play the game.
Yeah, that Sand King was everything for them. Him and the Clockwork, right? That was their initiation. That was their way to catch this XM Puck, prevent him from doing what he did in this game, but never came to fruition. Puck just had a roaring performance. Like, just if you go back on that timer, before the Yule Scepter emerges, there were literally a few minutes that existed where they had access to the Orchid on Somnus. No Yules, no protective ability whatsoever, but he didn't die at all. Still got to the Yules, still was able to evade everything that Somnus wanted to do in the game. And without Somnus being able to do that, without the Sand King actually having the requisite start that he needed, his Blink Dagger gets so super delayed. XM has a free game, just completely takes things over. And man, just feels like Team Turtle weren't necessarily able to play on the same page together. They also were never able to have Monet just standing in one position, throwing out right clicks. He ended this game, Harry, bro, the second least damage on his team. The only person who did less damage than him is the Clockwork. In fact, the only people in the game that did less damage than the Shadow Fiend are Clockwork and Lion. That is not supposed to be happening.
Yeah, very sad. And again, it comes back to the Sand King not having a good game. You mentioned it, the auras. He had to go for this Blink Dagger, thinking that's a way for them to get back into the game. But the thing is that then you do not have ways to protect your SF, so he's solely relying on his BKB. And because you were behind, your 4 staffs were late as well, he never could get into that position where he's just standing his ground saying, I'm the strongest, just doing whatever he wants. And then once they found that AD rune, they went in too deep. And well, the rest is history. After that fight, I think there was pretty much no chance for them to win.
Yeah, very rare that we see games ending where you can pinpoint the exact failure point. Like you mentioned, definitely I agree that happened bottom. And the thing that I'd be more frustrated if I'm FY, I'm like, dude, I was about to manipulate the lane for you. Like, you didn't need to do this. You would have been fine. If the game goes where they have a better lane, probably looking at a very different game, if not a different result. But that is not the world we live in. We live in the world where Extreme Gaming get to have another dominant performance. So no deaths for XM. Definitely going to be the MVP for me. If we're looking towards the side of Team Turtle, right, which obviously Somnus played really, really well, right? Do you think they maybe should be trying to orient their drafts around Somnus, given that he is clearly the most consistent performer on the team?
It's hard to do so around the mid laner right now, because the mid laners are pretty straightforward, the ones that are being picked, and they're very mobile and kind of Selfish, let's put it that way. They don't really play for the team. You know, you have your mobile heroes, the Pugs, the Spirits, the Invoker. Those aren't heroes that you build a draft around. There's heroes that help the other heroes perform well. So maybe in some other meta, but in this one, highly unlikely.
Well, that does mean that Team Turtles need to figure out something drastically different because they are now in the lower bracket, and should they lose their next game later on this afternoon, then they will be eliminated from Bangkok qualifiers and have no chance towards going to Thailand. That being said, though, we are not done with the Dota 2 action for the day. Of course, Extreme Gaming moves forward in the upper bracket, but we still have some upper bracket action as Titan will be taking on Ascent Esports. Given how fast this game is, it's going to be a little bit of time before that game gets going. That gives you an opportunity to go grab some water, go take a quick walk, you know, get some fresh air outside, touch some grass, and then join us to continue the Bangkok qualifiers between Titan and Ascent with your boys Harry Freak and Snare. See you soon for some more Dota 2 action.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb, tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime, race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I got my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
It's hard to apply restraint. I'm trying to stay away. It's so magnetic. Ooh, I gotta have it now. Let's keep it a private thing. I'll give you a secret name. Let's build a life on a lie. Every time I try to find,
Try to avoid it, but I was stuck. You turn up the heat when you back it up.
try to stop the flame.
Like a discipline ounce away.
It isn't enough to wish for change.